We'll handle anything, just your small oil field release, tank overflow, line blows out, anything along those lines. Respond to those. Just traditional means are weeping up your, soaking up, whether it's vacs or sorbents, your free liquids, and blending the soils in place to get your remedial standards. If you have heavily saturated soils, you may just dig those out. But that's your pretty traditional approach. We've handled, I would probably say, more spills to surface water, remediated spills and surface water impacts than probably any other office in the company, and I'm pretty confident of that. Here in Oklahoma, one thing we do have to consider more often than a number of other locations in the Talon service area is the location of surface waters and shallow groundwater. We have a number of viable aquifers that are very shallow, as well as obviously with the climate here in Oklahoma, getting 40+ inches of rain across most of the state each year, are the proximity of releases to surface waters. We've worked on spills where we have had the EPA Regional Incident Command on location watching us do cleanup work. Had a number of other agencies such as Fish and Wildlife Service personnel on locations when we've been handling spills, and that compounds the complexity of things here in Oklahoma, because based on your proximity to water bodies, there's different analytical methods that are required. You have to use the more sensitive BTEX and volatile panels when you're looking at potential impacts to water sources because of the lower sensitivity, or the lower levels of detection on those tests, and interest of protecting the more conservative protective levels of the public. We actually, given the experience we have here in Oklahoma, as well as is the region, we've worked a number of cases of fish kills. In this particular instance, one of our more prominent clients, he called us, and there was a fish kill in we consider a hot spot of I guess public concern in an area of North Texas. We were informed that the representatives of the EPA had been on location and collected samples and shown there were high chlorides in a little stock pond where there were dead fish. And arrived on site, we sure enough found a pond with a bunch of dead fish. Well, for the most part, different catfish, fingerling size or so. What any scientist does is pull some fish out of there and see what you can see. We're able to backdate the life cycle of the frog larvae, the frog to the tadpole stage, which represents the most critical time in the development, is more susceptible to toxicity than any other life stage, as well as a life history that identified the causative agent of the fish kill is a microbial infection from a species of pathogens that's inherent in commercial aquaculture operations. That paper was actually, the report was submitted to the client and forwarded directly to the EPA, who was ready to jump down the throats of these clients and lay down the law and tell them to get the checkbook out, and it was accepted without comment by the EPA, case dismissed. So that's what we do here.